And welcome back to the Open Mic Broadcast Network and the Mike Prince Show. We are fortunate to have on the line with us head coach of those Flying High Falcons, Reagins. Congratulations, Coach, on a tough-fought battle on Friday night.
I thank you. I appreciate it. It was a tough-fought battle. We ended up coming up victorious by the score of 13 to 10. So the guys fought hard, and it came down to the last play of the game.
The last play of the game, you guys able to pull it out. You're at 5-0. Now, without saying, this Sealy game was a bit special for you personally, huh, Coach?
Yeah, I think it was one for me personally, and I think it was for the community as well. And I think it's one of those games that one of our kids kind of circled on their calendar as well. It's one of those games we're waiting for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, when you have a game of that significance, it's a district game, it's a rival game, depending on who you ask. Seeley would say it wasn't a rival. You all would consider it a rival because it's a guy that's in your way. How challenging was it to control the emotions of your players and even yourself, Coach, leading up to this game and actually during the game?
I think it was a bit challenging because, again, it's one of those games that the day you get to it or a few days before you get to it, and, the emotions are flying high. But pre-game, the kids excited. They couldn't wait to kick off. And it's one of those games where the emotions are kind of challenging to control. But it was good energy, and I'm glad the kids was able to control their emotions throughout the game and come up victorious.
Yes, sir. Now you have a new challenge, Coach, teaching the kids and the community supporters as well on how to get accustomed to winning. Because, sometimes people just get that narrative, oh, that's just the way it is. We've always struggled in this area. What and how are you getting that message, hey, let's act like we've been here before, but we still have work to do?
I think we communicate that with our kids at the beginning of our season last year during our boot camp. And you got to continue to reiterate that, it's one game at a time. You want to go 1-0 each week. And I think the kids just embrace the process of more so of trying to win, not pay attention to the wins. The process is more important than actual wins.
Yes, sir. Now, of course, these young men are feeling good about themselves. And if you could give us a recap of some offensive, defensive, and even special team players that stood out on that victorious performance on Friday night.
If I could, to be honest with you, it'd be tough to pick out one player, but I think our defense played really well yesterday. We had a goal line stance, right on the goal line to tie the game up on fourth down. We get the ball back on the 1-yard line. We drive the ball to go 99 yards for a score. So that's commendable to both the offensive unit and the defensive unit in that type of situation. It was, a tight-knit game, and to pull that off on the defensive end and get that stop and, again, to go down and score 99 yards. And I think that was huge for both sides of the football. And also special teams did a great job. Our field goal kicker kicked 2 field goals, which was, the points we needed to win that game.
Now, I know you're an offensive guy, but I love defense, Coach, and that sounds like one of my kind of games, man. 13-10, everything on the line, adrenaline pumping, the crowd's into it. It's Friday night in Texas. What better scenario could you have? And to come out with the win, you couldn't draw it up better than that, Coach.
No, you can. And actually, I'm a defensive guy, and I learned a lot. And I mentioned to my guys, at North Shore before, and I remember a game I went to, a playoff game. I seen Katy playing against North Shore. It was 4th and 1 on the goal line, and North Shore came up with a goal line stand. And I think we came up with a lot of those goal line stands at North Shore. And I think when you do have those type of scenarios in the game where your defense can have a goal line stand, I think it's in the message to the other team and your team that we're going to fight tooth and nail to defend our goal line.
Yes, sir. And it's going to send a message to those in the future that if you can't get it in early, it's going to be a dogfight. So you better have a strong kicking game.
Oh, absolutely. The kicking game was huge. We had some turnovers in the red zone, and we got the ball down in the red zone. we weren't able to punch it in for a touchdown, but we were able to get some points out of the field goals.
Yes, sir. Okay, now you got the Tigers behind you now. Your next opponent, what do you need to stay on top to keep these Falcons flying high, and what are going to be some keys for success?
I think the process, again, is going to have to be consistent with what we've been doing throughout the week and with our game planning and execution and practice and things like that. And, of course, we play Belleville, and I think they're number 2 in the state of Texas right now in 4A Division II. And some of them have them as high as ranked as number 1. So it's going to be a challenge for us. I think we're up for the challenge. They got a strong running game, and I think we got a great defensive line. So it'll be a testament of their offensive line against our defensive line this week.
Yes, sir. And, of course, that'll be on the road, and it's going to be excitement in the air. And, Coach, we're continuing to pull for those Falcons to continue to fly high, my man, and want to give you some closing thoughts and comments as we get ready for the ending of this week's segment.
Yesterday's win was huge. I think it was huge for this community. It was huge for these kids. And I think we sent a message out to the district, to let them know we here, and we're gonna continue to show up every Friday night and give our all, and hopefully we'll get some respect and people understand that Brooks and Roy is here to stay.
Yes, sir. Brooks and Royal here to stay. And as the old saying, we can't say exactly what they're saying, but they're taking care of business and taking names. How about that? Is that good enough to say?
Oh, absolutely. We most definitely doing that. We're going to continue taking names as we go.
Yes, sir. This is family programming, Coach, so we got to keep it clean. He is Coach Theodis Reagins, head football coach of the now 5-0 Royal Brookshire Falcons, getting ready for the Belleville Brahmas on next week. I'm the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you guys so much for joining in with us. Don't forget, we are there to serve you, the voice of student athletics, serving the community through faith and athletics. Follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.